Local pushback on demolition of Kelingking Elevator. This is an interesting one. And immigration in Bali faces complex challenges with two groups of foreigners under surveillance. And who are they? Well, stay tuned for details on these and other stories. Selamat pagi. Welcome to the latest news from Bali in Indonesia. This is December 3rd. It's already December 2025, and my name is Bruce. And what is the weather like today? Well, right now it is absolutely gorgeous. It is 29 degrees at 8:53 in the morning here in Kampung Bugis, and the humidity is 70%. Wind speed is 0, absolutely dead. And, well, it's been raining on and off, on and off, on and off, and so that's normal for this time of the year. The government has put out warnings for the Christmas and New Year's holidays. And if you follow Indonesian news, you know what's happening in Sumatra. There'll be a short segment on that coming up. And so, worries about floods. We'll just have to see what's going to happen later in the month, but be prepared, the government says. Okay, lots of stuff today, and as usual, there are links to all sorts of stories down below, really interesting ones, and of course, I keep this under 20 minutes, and so not going to get to all that, and so we'll see what we can get to today, and I could talk really fast like the Indonesian news people do, but I don't think I can actually talk that fast. Okay, so let's get started with the first one on what's going on in Klingking. Local pushback on Kelingking Elevator. The decision of the governor of Bali, who ordered the cessation and dismantling of the glass elevator project at Klingking Beach, has now sparked a strong reaction from local traditional groups. Fierce pros and cons emerge, with traditional parties urging that the construction of the lift continue for the benefit of local tourism. Was expecting this. A forum of traditional village leaders of Nusa Penida has publicly called on the governor of Bali to reconsider his decision. Jero Ketut Gunaksa, representative of the forum, stated that all traditional village leaders from Nusa Penida district have gathered and agreed to allow the project. He said, "We respect and honor the decision of the governor. Nevertheless, we, the forum, will continue to seek persuasion from the governor of Bali and the region of Klungkung." He requested specific policies from the authorities to consider the aspirations of the Nusa Penida community. The forum acknowledged violations in the project process, but hoped that the government would find a compromise that respects the law without stifling the dynamic tourism development in Nusa Penida. He said, "We must respect the law and adhere to regulations. However, we also sincerely hope for a special policy space from the government." He added that Nusa Penida Forum plans to hold an audience with the governor of Bali soon. Whatever the outcome, we are ready to accept it as the people of Nusa Penida, he said. On the other hand, objections have emerged regarding the legitimacy of the traditional council meeting. Wayan, the traditional village council head of the Nusa Penida District Traditional Village Council, MDA, stated that this forum, which discussed the glass elevator, was entirely outside the official MDA agenda. He claims to have learned about the meeting only through social media. This raised doubts about the representation of all village heads in Nusa Penida. He said, "I was not invited and the results were not reported to the MDA." In fact, based on information he received, the Nusa Penida Traditional Village Leaders Forum was only formed at the meeting. Doubts grew because a video circulating on social media only showed the presence of 2 village leaders. This indicated the division of opinion at the customer level regarding the fate of the glass elevator. So who's representing Nusa Penida in this? Question on that story. However, the governor, well, he is standing firm. Koster denies rumors that he doesn't want Nusa Penida to progress, urging investors to dismantle the Klingking glass elevator. The governor of Bali again explained his reasons for not granting permission for the continuation of the construction of the glass elevator. He said this on Monday, 2 days ago. He explained the various violations committed during the construction of the elevator. This land area is under the jurisdiction of Klungkung Regency. The cliffs below it are not under the jurisdiction of Klungkung Regency. Going down to the ground, this is state land. The central and provincial governments have authority. The central government can delegate this to the provinces. Klungkung Regency has licensing authority on land. Below the cliffs, beaches, and seas, the district has no authority, the governor explained. The land-based structure includes a ticket counter and entrance. The design also features a 42-meter-long bridge. The glass elevator is separate from the land, and a restaurant is planned inside. The building on the land for the ticket purchases is 500 meters wide, and the lift is 840 meters wide. Then it touches on the coastal area. The coastline belongs to the state. The permit only covers the 500 meters for the ticket counter, and the elevator is not included in the permit. However, the investor included it in an attachment. The building permit appears simple, but in reality, the building is extraordinary with extensive technical documentation, the governor said. So from that, it's no longer possible for a simple building to be considered low risk. It's now considered very high risk, and it's not within the Klungkung Regency's jurisdiction to issue permits. They can only do this for the land use. The governor's second point is that the investor is building without their rights. Klingking Beach belongs to the state, and there's no recommendation or permission from anyone, either central or provincial. And the budget wasn't $200 billion as reported, he said. The letter listed a figure of $60 billion, of which $200 billion included buildings in other undisclosed locations. Therefore, after the TRAP Special Committee reviewed the land and detailed attachments, it was determined that a violation had occurred. The public is distorting the facts, the governor said. We have examined all of this and found there was absolutely no permission. So please, let's all come to a common understanding. There are rumors that Nusa Penida is not allowed to progress. That is not what this is about. We understand Nusa Penida is the diamond of Bali, the diamond of Indonesia, and we must manage it very well, he said. Of course, the development in other areas of Nusa Penida is permitted, but with the proviso that spatial planning, environmental impact analysis, and other requirements must be correct in order to progress sustainably in the future. There's that word, sustainably. I made this decision purely with no other motives than protecting the future of Nusa Penida. The governor also praised the TRAP Special Committee's work that has raised awareness among many parties. Investors planning to build are now conducting an approach and reviewing what is permitted and what is not. This allows the regent and the mayor to have some authority. And so the governor is standing firm at this point on this. The elevator is going to be demolished. Who's going to demolish it? Well, we don't know. The governor said that they're supposed to demolish it, the company that's building it. And, well, are they going to? I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. And what about immigration? I just saw this one this morning and put this one in and kind of knocked out the next story. Immigration in Bali faces complex challenges with two groups of foreigners under surveillance. Immigration policy in Bali faces complex multidimensional challenges, clashing demands to facilitate tourism, economic growth, and the need to uphold state sovereignty, law, and cultural norms. This dynamic places the Directorate General of Immigration in a dilemma amidst the strong currents of globalization and transnational threats. This was stated by Acting Director General of Immigration, Yuldi Yusman, who was represented by the Director of Visas and Travel Documents, Pak Budianto. Pak Budianto firmly stated that the implementation of selective immigration policy in Bali must transform from merely a tourism facilitator into an adaptive fortress of sovereignty. Bali has recorded the cumulative number of foreign visitors 5,297,869 as of September, and is projected to reach 7 million by the end of the year. This significant increase, on the one hand, stimulates the local economy, but on the other hand, gives rise to a number of crucial problems. The main problems faced are the misuse of residence permits, overstaying, violations of the law, and violations of local customs. Pak Budianto said the ease of access offered to support tourism is often misused, creating legal, economic, and social vulnerabilities. Furthermore, his office highlighted two groups of foreigners currently under scrutiny. Who are they? Digital nomads, many of whom enter on tourist visas but pursue professional activities and even exploit the local labor market, such as yoga instructors and impromptu tour guides, creating a gray area that is difficult for conventional law enforcement to reach. This practice is considered a form of predatory business that erodes the income of local MSMEs. Second, Pak Budianto continued, the geopolitical exodus, where Bali has now become the main destination for the exodus of foreigners from conflict-ridden countries such as Russia and Ukraine. While many are legal, the sharp increase in arrivals demands sharper risk analysis capabilities from immigration regarding international issues, the status of asylum seekers, or individuals linked to political regimes. He highlighted three major violation trends that threaten Bali's legal sovereignty and local economy, namely the misuse of work visas. Foreigners enter with a visit visa, but run businesses and earn a living without a foreign worker employment permit. Chronic overstay. This term is used because of the fine, which is 1 million rupiahs per day, but that's still considered light for some foreigners with high incomes. Boy, they must have high incomes. Violations of social and cultural norms by foreigners, such as acting disrespectfully in holy places or committing immoral acts that disturb the public and are contrary to Bali's vision of culture-based tourism. In addition, he continued, the issue of illegal foreign investment through nominee agreements, borrowing names, is the biggest challenge. This practice is detrimental to Indonesian citizens and indicates a violation of the principle of economic sovereignty. To address this complexity, the Immigration Department has adopted a smart immigration strategy through digitalization and strengthening vetting or foreign background checks with an intelligence database. The Directorate General of Immigration is collaborating with the academic world by signing a cooperation agreement with Udayana University, UNUD, down in Denpasar. And so, immigration is going to work with the universities to find out what is going on and develop some strategies on how to deal with this situation. The core of the 5-year collaboration between the government and the universities is the establishment of the Indonesian Immigration Policy and Analysis Center, IMPACT, within the Faculty of Law at Udayana. The scope of this agreement is not only limited to research, but will also integrate immigration issues into the curriculum and community service. More stuff on keeping track of foreigners. And so, two things in special, the digital nomads and people fleeing from war-torn areas like the Russians and Ukrainians. And here was going to be the second story, but I kind of moved it down because of the immigration one. And one of my favorite stories, the Gilimanuk-Mengwi Toll Road. Yes, it's back in the news again today. Not good news for the farmers and landholders that were waiting that have been waiting to find out what's happening with their land. Not the Gilimanuk-Mengwi Toll Road. Bali needs the Gilimanuk-Seririt-Soka Toll Road more. The Gilimanuk-Mengwi Toll Road project, which was once considered a national strategic project worth 25.4 trillion rupiah, is now facing a deadlock, and it has been for quite some time. This 96.84 kilometer project has been abandoned by potential investors and repeatedly failed to be tendered. The fundamental reasons: too low traffic potential and too low profits. Public Works Minister Dodi Hanggodo admitted openly that professional investors were no longer interested. He said, no traffic, no revenue. Based on calculations by the Ministry of Public Works, this toll road will only generate 2,631 vehicles per day. Really? That seems really low for that area. This traffic is considered very low compared to other projects such as the Probowangi Toll Road, which is predicted to reach more than 20,000 vehicles per day. The investor hesitation has made the toll road the most lagging priority toll project, with tender projected to be completed only by 2027. Amid the project's stalled schedule, strong pressure has emerged from political circles and regional figures for the government to reconsider the toll road route in Bali. Yes, we're going to change it again. And there's some interesting stuff here. The chairman of Golkar Party's Bali Regional Leadership Council is pushing for the toll road construction to be diverted from Gilimanuk-Mengwi to Gilimanuk-Seririt-Soka. Soka's in Tabanan. According to him, the Mengwi route is actually wrong because it strengthens economic concentration in the already developed Badung Denpasar area. He highlighted the severe inequality where the southern tourism areas reap large revenues from hotel and restaurants, that's PHR, while the northern and eastern regions such as Bulaling and Karangasem are left far behind. When the north and east do not grow, job opportunities are small, people move to the south ends up being depressed, lower class people are forced to sell land. What are the advantages of this new route? Well, the new route is seen as offering strategic advantages that are much more responsive to development challenges in Bali. The route is believed to function as a catalyst to encourage economic equality, like the mythical North Bali Airport. This toll road has the potential to open up economic access to North Bali region, which has been left far behind because the focus of development has been concentrated on the south all the time, Badung Denpasar. Infrastructure development directed to the north is expected to create a new center of economic growth on the island of the gods, or the island of the Instagrammers. The Seririt-Soka toll road has great potential to stimulate the MSMEs, which is micro, small, and medium enterprises. Additionally, by avoiding directing all traffic flow directly south, this route can effectively prevent economic stagnation in Jembrana, ensuring the area remains an important hub in Bali. From a project feasibility and investment perspective, the northern route also offers greater appeal. Land prices in this Gilimanuk-Seririt-Soka corridor are relatively more affordable compared to the already densely populated southern regions. This lower land value has the potential to significantly increase investment attractiveness because it will reduce acquisition costs. The route diversion also offers significant benefits to the southern region. It will help reduce traffic congestion that consistently builds up in Denpasar and Badung. Thus, the Gilimanuk-Seririt-Soka road is considered a comprehensive solution that not only benefits investors, but is also transformative for the equitable development in Bali. And the tragedies over in Sumatra. Northern Sumatra leaders raise white flag amid deadly floods. The floods and landslides across northern Sumatra have killed at least 712 people, left hundreds missing, and exposed deep weaknesses in local disaster response capacity. Several regions in Aceh openly admitted they cannot handle the crisis. Villages remain cut off. A week after the disaster, infrastructure is wrecked, health services disruptive, and local economies stalled. Aceh's governor called the destruction a second tsunami. Local leaders say they lack heavy equipment and funding. Some regencies have contingency budgets as small as 2 billion rupiah, far too little for a disaster of this scale, especially after significant central government budget cuts for regional administrations under President Prabowo. BNPB reports massive damage across 50 regencies with over 2,600 injured and nearly 500 missing. This has fueled strong calls from local governors, Amnesty International, and others for Jakarta to declare a national disaster so foreign and national resources can be mobilized. Some regions warn they will be overwhelmed within days without central help. Prabowo, after visiting the area, said the current provincial level emergency status is sufficient. The government says funding will come from BNPB, the Social Affairs Ministry, and regional budgets, with additional funds available if BNPB requests them. However, BNPB itself has suffered sharp budget cuts, with its 2026 allocation set to drop to just 491 billion rupiah. Economists argue that the central government is being overly cautious due to fiscal and credit rating concerns, prioritizing financial stability over urgent human needs. Analysts and activists also call for a moratorium on mining and palm oil expansion, noting that extractive industries likely worsen the disaster. Estimated economic losses could reach up to 66 trillion rupiah. Terrible, and if you've seen any videos of this, just unbelievable what's happening there. It's wow. And as I said earlier in the video, warnings about the upcoming Christmas New Year period and possibility for extensive flooding throughout Indonesia. Okay, that is it for today. Thanks for viewing. Be kind to someone today. Take care. Have a great week, and I will see you again next Wednesday.